You know, I feel like I'm afraid I'm going to fall down or something. It is simply just enormous. If you're afraid of heights, the VAB may not be the best place for you to work. With us today is Rebecca Baturin, a VAB project engineer, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the VAB. Rebecca, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with us today to tell us a little bit more about the VAB.
So this building was built in 1965 to support the Apollo program. Since then, we've had the Apollo shuttle and now the SLS program here inside the building. And we're in the process of modernizing High Bay 3 to support the SLS program.
High Bay 3, so I take it there's multiple high bays in this building?
There are 4 high bays. They're all pretty much identical. Just depending on what program they supported, they might have different platforms or different services inside the high bay. So this building, the people that designed it back in the 60s had amazing forethought to design a building like this that we can use long into the future. So if you go up on the roof, actually, these steel columns you see, they're not capped off. So we could theoretically make these high bays taller if we so wished. The foundation is poured out beyond the north side of the building, so we could build 2 additional high bays if we wanted to. So we definitely have lots of options here within the VAB.
I don't think I can imagine this building being any taller. Right now, 350 feet is already high for me. So this is a big building. The transfer aisle itself is large. How do you get the pieces of the rocket from one section to the other?
So we have 5 cranes inside this building. One runs along the transfer aisle at the 16th floor level. That's our 175-ton crane. Then we have 2 cranes that run in each set of high bays. So in this high bay, you can see the 250-ton crane and then the 325-ton crane above us.
325 tons, so can that crane pick up the shuttle by itself?
So for the shuttle operations, it came in horizontally, so we'd actually use 2 cranes to transit it to vertical and then lift it up and over into the high bay. I believe for the SLS operations, it will just be a single crane here.
And then so the crane operator has to look straight down when they're operating this crane?
So you can see in the corner there's a little operator's cab, and that's where he or she would sit, and they would be operating the crane from up there.
I don't think that's a job that I would want. Wow, that is really high.
Yeah, you can't be faint of heart for that job.
Yeah. Okay, so exactly how tall is this building?
The building's 525 feet tall. Right now we're standing inside the low bay. If you look up beyond the 175-ton crane here, you can see up into the high bay, and that's where our 4 high bays are.
And how wide is it?
It's 518 feet wide.
518 feet wide. That is a massive building. Now, standing here, it almost feels like it's a wind tunnel because the air flows through. Is that by design?
So we don't have air conditioning inside this building, so really the only way we can regulate the temperature in here is to open and close the doors. So in the high bays, you'll see we have those large doors that roll up, taking about 45 minutes to fully open, and we will open those in certain configurations to allow like a chimney effect to keep the high bays cool.
Why does it take 45 minutes to open up those doors?
Because they're so massive. So each section can be controlled individually, so you can raise or lower all the door or each individual section one at a time.
So relatively speaking, how big is that flag on the building?
It's about 209 feet tall by 110 feet wide.
And the stars?
The stars are 6 feet across and 9 feet wide, and right now we're standing on a mock-up of what pieces of the flag look like. So if you look down, you can see the size of the stars and the size of the stripes, and you could probably drive a truck through the size of the stripes that are on the side of the building.
Wow.
And from down here, it doesn't look like it's that large.
It certainly does not look like it. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for being out here with us and telling us a little bit more about the VAB. We definitely appreciate all the great work that you and your team are doing. Once again, I'm Yves Lamoth, checking in at Kennedy Space Center, our multi-user spaceport.